Welcome back, guys. Today in this video we are going to handle the view and edit of an individual event. We will try to use our add event form, supply the data to use it for viewing the event data, and also use the same form to handle the edit. So before we get started, the first thing that we want to do is create a route and create a component, a Livewire component, which will handle the page for view. Okay, so let's get started. I'll do PHP artisan make Livewire, and let's just name our component event view. So we have two new files, the event view PHP file and the event view blade. Inside web.php, I can create a route and I can use the Livewire facade inside route. So event view event. So we are doing a route model binding and we'll pass our component, which is event view. Okay, so if things are correct, we should get something like, or why don't we just include the event add form. Okay, and then inside our listing we will just link it. Sorry, this will be two brackets. We'll name our route and event view. So if we are lucky, okay, there's some problem already. It's routes, which is correct. Undefined function route, sorry, it's single, right? So now I can see that the URLs are forming properly in my status bar, and if I click, it goes to event slash view slash the ID, and I am currently getting the form. However, it is empty, which is not something that we want. So how do we populate the data? Coming over here inside our form component, right? So we need the event in some way. However, from the route, we are getting it in the event view, which is this blade, which we just created. So why don't we do something like, why are we able to do this? We are able to do this because the event view component, right? This component will get this because of the route model binding. So we'll open up that particular component. We'll have a mount property, and in here we will get that event. Okay, so that's the reason we could do that. So why don't we create a public property event, and we pass it, right? And because now this public property is available, I can send that variable to the event add form. Okay, so let's now open up event add form. Actually, we don't need the blade file, we only need to work with the component file. So in here, the first thing that we want to do is we will take the $event, okay, because we will need to play with it. And in our mount function, we would expect the event. However, it is not of type event, we will not type hint it. And then by default we are setting it to null. Okay, and if $event is present. Okay, because we will have two conditions, right? This particular form now can mount inside the event view page, or it can mount inside the event create page. Okay, event add, as in, right, this particular page where we are, sending that form, we can get that as well. So what do we want to do? We want to handle two conditions. This is when it is a create page, and this is when it is edit. Inside edit, what we will do is this event is populated, and then we also need to populate these properties. So let me quickly do that. All right, so I think I have populated all the required properties, and with this, now if I come to this page, I can see the same. However, I think there is some problem with contact name. Okay, let's see. Contact name, contact. Okay, there's some problem with the naming convention. I would suggest you don't do this mistake, because what is happening is I have contact name in here, and here it is contact person, plus the cases are different. Ideally it should have been consistent. I will refactor it, but for now let's just go with it. Okay, so yeah, we have our first block of code in here where we are checking whether it is a create or an edit. I think the create form should load properly. No, it doesn't. It says unresolved dependency required event. I think what is happening is the create, okay, which is getting loaded from here, it needs that event. So event equals null. Okay, right. So what was happening is, see, event add, right, it is expecting something on the mount function. Okay, however, while we are on create, we can't send anything because the event has not been created yet. So what have we done? We have sent null when the form is being rendered on the create page, whereas when we are rendering the form inside the edit, we do get the event, so we can pass it along, right? So the error is gone, the validations are fine. We will keep this validation common because all these parameters are required, and the rules hold same for edit and create. So once that is done, the next thing that we want to do is the same check which we have added here. We'll add that below. The only thing is now we refer it using this event. So this event, if this is true, then we are inside update. I mean, we need to update because we are in the edit form, else we are in the create form, right? So the create thing is quite simple. I think no need to worry about that. However, when it is an event update, what we can do is event find. Let's just say this event ID, and then we update. Okay, and do the same thing. So if you see, I think there are some modifications that we can do. Let's just say $event is equal to this, and this holds true for both the cases. So I think we can do a one line refactor, and the same holds true for create, right? So the code is a little simple and it is easy to read. I think we could have even done a one liner thing, but it will increase the code length a lot, so I will stick it like this and stay with this kind of a format. So code is looking good. Let's see if we are able to get the desired output. So first I'll create the form, an event, a new event with something wrong. Contact name, let's just say this is Spider-Man, with the spelling wrong. Mail.com, and initially the event was supposed to be for 50, but I said it's 5, right? And I save. Okay, so the event is saved properly. I have the event name, the wrong Spider-Man spelling, all those stuff. Now what I want to do is view it. Now I want need the correct spelling. So Spider-Man Homecoming, have a space, Spider-Man Gmail, and let's say the event is for 50 people now. So I hit save. Okay, update. Why? Okay, my bad. It's a very common spelling mistake that I make. I swap the D with the P, so it becomes Udbit. I don't know why. Anyways, I need to do it again. Don't worry. So view Spider-Man Homecoming. Wow, autocomplete is here. Spider-Man. It's going to be Gmail 50. Hit save. And we are good to go. So basically we have now handled the edit and create using the same form. We only have two different pages. So let's quickly look at it. So we have this, how do you say, this get URL, which is event add. What we are doing here is basically the getting the events add page, which is only loading the event add form. This is one way of loading pages. I could have easily done it like this, right, where I could have loaded the event add form, but because it's a reusable component, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to have a page for it. Okay, so that tomorrow if I need something else on that form, I can do that. For this I have this add URL. Okay, and then the second one is a Livewire route. Okay, where we are directly doing an event models no route model binding, sorry, and we are declaring which component will be used to render this page. Okay, this is something which is different from what we did with the event add page, right? So we render this component. It only includes this Livewire component. So we have one page where we saw this kind of a format, and there's one page where we saw the @ format. Okay, I'm loading the same component, event add form. Here we are using event add form. We are sending event as a prop, which is null, and in the event edit page or the view page, right, we are sending the event because in event view we have the mount property where, because of model route model binding, we get the event, we assign it to a public property because only public properties are available in the component. So we do that. Inside this we get the $event, which we are passing as a prop. Now let's go back to event add page, right? The component has not changed. I haven't changed a single line of code in my form. Okay, the only thing which I have done is on mount, I am checking whether I get the event or not, right? This is the public property which I have added, $event. If my event is null, okay, because I'm sending null from the create page. So if that is the case, this is fine. It's null. We don't do anything. If it's not null, if the event is there, then we assign these properties, right? We assign them from the properties which we are getting from the database. Then we on submit, right, on the form submit, we run the validation for both create and update because that's common rules for the entity. We take it in an array, okay, to keep this logic part simple, right? So we keep it in an array. If we have the event, then basically we are looking at an update, right? If this event is not null, right, then basically we have that event object, which means we are actually doing an update on the event. And if not, then we are creating an event. And in both those cases, after the operation is done, we are returning the user to the home page. So this is how we got our event view working, along with the edit of that event as well. So if you like this series, do click on the thumbs up icon and don't forget to subscribe to my channel.